Okay, let's jump right into a really powerful passage today. We're looking at the book of Numbers, specifically chapter 25.
Right. The scene is Shittim. Israelites are basically right there on the edge of the promised land.
But something happens first, a serious detour. The text says the Israelite men started engaging in, well, sexual immorality with Moabite women.
Yeah. And crucially, it wasn't just personal sin. It immediately spiraled into a religious crisis.
How so?
Well, these women invited the men to sacrifices for their gods,
Hmm.
and the text is blunt. The Israelites ate and they bowed down, specifically joining the worship of the Baal of Peor.
Baal of Peor, okay. And the immediate reaction.
Not good. The Lord's anger, it says, burned against them instantly. This mixing of immorality and idolatry just ignited divine judgment.
So a crisis unfolds. What's the first instruction to deal with it?
It's severe. The Lord tells Moses, basically, take the leaders involved, kill them, and expose them publicly. The idea was to turn away God's anger from everyone else.
Wow. So public execution of the leadership involved. Did Moses follow through?
He relayed a similar command to the judges, find the men under your authority who joined the Baal of Peor cult and put them to death.
Okay, so there's this atmosphere of judgment, consequences are being enacted, but then the story shifts, right? There's a really dramatic moment.
Extremely dramatic. While the whole community is actually weeping, gathered at the entrance to the tent of meeting, probably in repentance or fear, this one Israelite man does something incredibly brazen.
What does he do?
He brings a Midianite woman right into the camp, right past Moses, right in front of everyone.
Just walks her in.
Bold as anything. And the text even names them, which is significant. Zimri, son of Salu, a Simeonite leader, and the woman, Cosbi, daughter of Zur, a Midianite chief.
Naming them like that, it feels like it adds weight, like this isn't just some random act.
Exactly. It highlights the high-level nature of this defiance, perhaps touching on tribal politics or leadership failures too. And while everyone else is sort of stunned or weeping, Phinehas acts.
Phinehas, son of Eleazar the priest, what does he do?
He sees it, gets up from the assembly, grabs a spear, doesn't hesitate, follows Zimri and Cosbi into Zimri's tent,
Yeah.
and he drives the spear right through both of them, through the man and the woman. It's a very graphic, decisive, and violent action.
And the consequence of that specific act.
Immediately, the plague that had broken out among the Israelites stopped. The text draws a direct line. Phinehas acts, the plague ends.
But there was a plague. How bad was it?
It was devastating. Before Phinehas intervened, the text says 24,000 people had already died.
24,000. That's staggering. So Phinehas' action, though brutal, is presented as stopping this massive loss of life. How does God respond to Phinehas specifically?
God speaks to Moses about him. Says Phinehas turned away his anger because he was zealous for God's honor as God himself was.
So his zeal mirrored divine zeal.
That's the idea presented. And because of that zeal, God says he didn't completely destroy the Israelites. Phinehas' action is framed as making atonement, essentially.
Atonement through that kind of act. And does Phinehas receive anything for this?
He does. A significant reward. God establishes a covenant of peace with him. It's a promise of a lasting priesthood for him and his descendants.
A covenant of peace and a perpetual priesthood. Why?
The text states it clearly. Because he was zealous for the honor of his God and made atonement for the Israelites. His action, however jarring to us, was seen as fundamentally defending God's honor and saving the community.
Okay. And the chapter wraps up with one final command.
Yes, it shifts focus slightly. God tells Moses to treat the Midianites as enemies now, to strike them down.
Because of this incident.
Explicitly. Because their deception and the whole affair at Peor, and specifically citing their sister Cosbi, the Midianite woman Phinehas killed. It ties the conflict back to Midianite involvement.
So quite a journey in one chapter. From idolatry and immorality in Shittim.
To divine anger, a plague, a shocking public defiance.
Then this incredibly intense intervention by Phinehas, stopping the plague but after huge loss of life.
Followed by divine approval for his zeal, a covenant promise, and then orders against the Midianites.
It really covers a lot. As you reflect on Numbers 25, maybe sit with that tension it presents. You have collective failure leading to collective punishment, but then one individual's zealous act changes the course of things, leading to both divine reward and further commands for conflict.
Yeah, it really makes you think about individual versus collective responsibility, the nature of zeal, both its potential power and its inherent dangers, and how actions, intentions, and consequences are weighed, at least within this specific narrative, definitely leaves you with a lot to ponder.